This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Checking the microphone. It's going good.
15th of August, 2020. My name is Corey Winfield, and this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. In the studio tonight, joining me once again, co-host Marney Liston. Marney.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Hey, before we get into some things that happened today, I just want to run down that unfortunate news that we got the other day. And I mean, I guess it happens for a reason, but the recovery event in Paw Paw was supposed to be on the 19th of September. I need to change some stuff on the website, but it hasn't been canceled. It's been moved to July 24th, if I can remember correctly. But it's so far away, who knows?
Right.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's July 24th of next year, so it'll give them more time to prepare a little bit. It was their first, Jewel, I'm doing this for you. It was your first annual... kills me to do that. It's the first inaugural. But it's the first annual... I can't even say it. It's the first event they're having. So Jewel was like, yeah, it'll give us more time to kind of plan things out and get things more prepared how we want them. So I told her, just let us know what they need from us, and we're down. You know, we'll be there.
Right.
And we need to go down there and hang out with them anyway, even before then.
Sure. Because
she seemed pretty crazy. Like good crazy, like sober crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like she'd be fun to hang out with.
Everybody loves sober crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
It's fun.
So that was kind of like, because I was really looking forward to it, and just not really going to happen now. Well, at least not this year, but. And then it just kind of made me worry about the UFAM event. The Unite to Face Addiction Michigan is what UFAM stands for, but that's on the 24th. And I'm like, man, that's going to be on the lawn of the Capitol building, and what's Whitmer going to do when you get a bunch of people in recovery out there? Like, I don't know. So we'll see about that. I guess he's going to be on with Tori Worth from NEMSAS or something. His virtual meetings, which there's a link to on our website, 217recovery.com. But Wednesday, noon to 1, Scott Massey, the president and the organizer, he's going to be on there. And they said something about the UFAM in Tori's email. He sent out an email about it. And I don't know. I'm going to tune in because I'm interested, because is it still going forward? What's going on? Scott isn't, well, to be fair, I haven't reached out to Scott in quite some time. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll find something out about that. And we just bought a bunch of hats.
I know.
You know, people always, I want some gear. So we thought, hey, hats are perfect. And the hats look amazing. Thanks again to Personal Graphics Inc., PGI, and Petoskey. They did the logo for us and embroidered it. And the hats look amazing. And maybe we can auction some of them off. I saw that Lisa Clavier from, which I always say her name wrong. Lisa, what's up? Kirsten's Ride. She was selling raffle tickets the other day, and I thought, man, that'd be a good idea. Like, if we sold a raffle ticket, like if someone paid, like, I don't know, $3, maybe $4, you know, it would have a chance to be in the drawing to win a hat or something. You know, we have the orange ones, the blue, the white. You know, throw those up there, and if, you know, however many people want to bid on it, and the donations, you know, help us too. And then I thought, man, that'd be... You don't really write off a $3 donation or a $5 donation, which is good and bad. But, I mean, they can always donate more. You know, if they want to write it off or something on their taxes, we can give you our EIN number, and you can file that, and we're legit. We'll give you a receipt. Government will count it. So,
yeah.
You know, you're good to go there. But yeah, so look for that. I think we'll do that next week. And I have something that's coming that I haven't told you about in the mail.
What?
Yeah. Well, okay, so a couple weeks ago I bought this, and you're probably getting so annoyed with it, Marty, but I bought the big black back screen.
Yeah.
That I'm going to use when we shoot our videos and we tell our stories and stuff like that. And it'll be perfect. And then I thought, you know, it'd be more perfect is lights. So I bought just a couple like lights, and I figure I could set it up and then like have the lights.
Oh, it's already set up.
Yeah, which I know. I'll move it somewhere someday.
It's fine.
But, well, yeah, I'll get some lights and we'll put the picture or the hats in like a cool picture, and
Yeah, I can do that.
Jesus told me to do it, so I did it. I bought them.
Better listen.
Should be here sometime, maybe soon. So yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on. I got a message from you today, though, Marney, and I thought you were making jokes, and I don't have my phone with me, but it said, I ran into a fan today at the store. It was pretty cool. So I'm excited. I'm like, oh man, she bought me another fan. And I thought she's so
not
clever.
even. That wasn't even.
Yeah, like a smiley face. I'm like, yeah, she's walking by the fans, and it was probably on, and it was so cool,
No.
And then I was just imagining this cool fan that I'm gonna have in the bedroom, and then I started putting two and two together, and I'm like, I think, okay, she's not being funny with making a joke about fans keeping people cool. Because you were like, I ran into a fan that felt so
That's
cool.
not even a funny joke.
But I was like, wow, she's coming with jokes tonight. And that's what I thought. I really did. And
Wow, you're way off.
And then I was like, oh, I think she means a fan of the podcast or a fan of, 217 Recovery or the blogs or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, maybe that's what she means. So then I got home and I talked to you. So what happened? You're at the store.
Oh, I was just checking out at the grocery store, just a little local grocery store. And this guy, shoots around from the other aisle.
What did he look like? Was he crazy?
No, it's middle-aged, just average guy looking. I don't know. Anyway, and he just shoots around. I'm doing the self-checkout. And he's like, hey, 217 Recovery. I like it. And I was like, and before I could even say anything, he was like, spirit. Well, I was like, hey, thanks. I'm like, thanks for listening. And he was out the door. But yeah, I was just wearing my 217 Recovery podcast shirt that I have a million of. One of them. Sporting it, yeah. But it was neat just to know there are people out there that are listening and are reading and benefiting hopefully and spreading the word of recovery and supporting people in recovery. It was neat to actually have it. I mean, just out of the blue.
Yeah, and he put a comment on the 217 Recovery family page, and he said it's nice to see people wearing it out in public or something like that. And it's like, yeah, that's what we're about. In fact, when I was driving home, I was thinking about that same thing about how I'm proud that I'm in recovery, and that's something that before I would have always been ashamed of. I wouldn't want people to know that I'm in recovery. I'm just Corey. I don't have any problems. I'm just living the life, but I'd be living a lie. I'm a proud person in the recovery community, and some people have a hard time standing up and saying that, and I will gladly stand up and say it for anybody. Yeah. And if it changes the way people view us, perfect. And the reason why I was thinking about that was because I was talking with a guy tonight, and he was telling me that, his problem was alcohol and heroin and meth and drugs. That was his problem. And I listened to him for a bit. And then, I told him my problem. And it wasn't alcohol. It wasn't drugs. It was abandonment from my father. And I started, going down that and opening that avenue for him, and just to kind of see him kind of think and change. And his whole face was just thinking. His eyes started watering, and he starts tearing up a bit. And he said, now that you mentioned that, my dad would, he tells me, we're a proud family, and your grandfather stormed the beaches of Normandy, and you can, if they can do that, and he can do that, then you can just stop drinking, and it's just like, oh, he's coming from a family like that. And my biological father is the same way. He doesn't want to take time to get it. He's just like, just don't drink, and hey man, that would be a perfect solution, but that's not the right way to do it. Somebody who just doesn't drink anymore is going to be what they call a dry drunk. I mean, they haven't solved the problem. And now you've just taken away a Band-Aid from them. So they're going to turn to something else, or they're just going to be unhappy people until you can get to the root of that and deal with it and have that acceptance of it. Nothing's going to change, unfortunately, and he just, just looking at him thinking and really kind of taking it back in his mind. I told him, I'm not your therapist. I'm not, I'm not trying to be your therapist or nothing. I'm just telling you, for me, I had to like really break it down like that. And, at first I thought it was the alcohol. And then I thought, well, no, I have a mental problem. I need help. I need pills. I need something, but I didn't need any of that. And maybe I did need the Zoloft for a bit to just kind of balance things out. And that's fine. But I don't have a mental problem. I don't have a handicap or anything like that. It's just I had a problem getting to the root of the actual problem. And, to say you're an alcoholic is a hard thing to swallow. To say you're a drug addict, to say you're a junkie, that's a hard thing to swallow. And it'd be much easier to say, well, I'm just severely depressed. That's why I drink. But that's still not really the reason why you drink or do drugs. There's something in there for everybody, for one of us, I feel. And, to see him kind of come alive with that really kind of made me feel like, okay, some people are getting it. And, those other people, like his father and like my father, who just think, well, just don't drink anymore. Those people are going to kind of go away, I think, eventually. And by me and you and other people in recovery standing up saying, hey, I'm in recovery. I'm not a bad person. Mm-hmm. I changed my life. I got to the root of a major problem in my life. And I don't know, whatever the issue that is that makes people want to use or, escape reality or to cover up the pain, whatever it is, to stand up and say, I did it, and I'm living a great life right now, until we all start standing up and being okay with being in public and people knowing our darkest secrets, but I think those people will just kind of go away, kind of weed themselves out, and they're going to be the minority one day. And I think then we'll be making leaps and bounds and just, it'll be like a whole movement thing almost, where people who suffer an addiction, from substance use disorder, they won't be looked upon as just trash, and it might take time, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I got a couple years. Jesus told me that I'll live a few more.
Well, I mean, being in recovery in general, there's no, like, I'm so proud of it. I'm so proud. I'm proud to wear, the shirts that basically just say, like, I support, I mean, it does say 217 recovery, but, essentially it's being recognized as an individual in the recovery community. And, people who aren't, like my sister, I made her shirt, she wears it, and her husband. And, but yeah, there's no shame in being in recovery. And yeah, it does maybe, some people might look deeper into it. Like that person was at one point somebody who was an addict. And yeah, so what, I really focus on, look at who I am today. That's what being in recovery means, and that's why I say it all the time. I actually wrote a blog on it a few weeks ago. I can't remember. I think I called it Secretly Sober. Yeah, and I talked about some of the reasons why I didn't like to say out loud that I didn't drink to just anybody and everybody, because I didn't want to have that be something that if I ever did decide to go back out, to have it be an issue or be confronted about it. And so it left that door cracked to be able to, not have to explain myself for a quote unquote relapse. Because I'm not relapsing if I don't ever tell people that I'm trying not to drink. I know, crazy. But no, I mean, that's really the truth of why I did that. And it was just setting myself up for failure. And inevitably, right then and there, if I really would have been truthful with myself and honest, I wasn't, ready for I wasn't ready for